Or is it just a hit and run? Hey, we gotta get that.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's Mojo Mike TV. We're back again with another video. This is a story time. First story time of the channel, so y'all just sit back, enjoy the little 2K clips while I give y'all this crazy story. So I'm talking to this light-skinned shorty, this light-skinned little girl. It wasn't nothing deep, and I actually worked with her. I started working in this place in like June of that summer, and I met her in like about August. Well, like late July. So we talking. Well, actually, this is how we started talking. So I saw her and I was like, whoa, she fine. I didn't know she worked here because I work morning shift and she worked night shift. And I think she came to like pick up a check. I was like, whoa, who's that? And they told me her name. And we just gonna call her CC. I ain't trying to expose nobody. So you just gonna call her CC. So CC, she worked with me, technically, not really with me, but y'all know. And so what happened was, so I found out her last name and I went in her Instagram and I went ahead and searched her up and added her on Instagram, and that's how we got to talking. She actually DM'd me like 4 days after I started following her, which was crazy because I ain't never had a girl DM me before. But you know, it is what it is. It's easier on me, easier on my part. So I wasn't complaining, but no, we started talking, and I think we FaceTimed that same night she DM'd me. And like at 9 o'clock, she said she had to get off the phone. That was her curfew. And keep in mind, we juniors in high school, so that was like red flag number one. Like, whoa, like the fact you got curfew for 1 and then for 2 is 9 o'clock. But you know, I'm gonna keep going. So we talking for a little minute, still with the 9 o'clock curfew thing. We ain't really like on no like heavy stuff. You just talking for a little stuff. And so then she breaks it to me that her parents won't let her date. And I'm like, whoa, like we juniors in high school, like for real? And I was like, well, I'm just gonna push that to the back of my head. Like, come on, bro. Like your parents won't let you date? Man, they ain't met me yet. So, so yeah, that happens. And so she's like, you should come to church with me so they can meet you. And I was like, all right, bet. And man, that's good. And then you can come to church next weekend. Like, so we swap out. And so we ended up, I ended up going to her church. But the night before, I asked her what to wear. And she said, you can wear whatever you wear to your church. And usually what I wear to my church is like some shoes, like some regular shoes and like some jeans and like a button up. And so so I sent her a picture. It was like a floral shirt, like some jeans and some white Converse. And she's like, oh, that's great. And then she's like, I'll wear my white Converse too. So keep in mind, we both wearing white Converse. So go ahead, pull up at her church. I wasn't driving at the time. My mom drove me and she dropped me off. So I guess I was riding with them afterwards. So pull up at the church, and they're having Sunday school. And her Baptist church, like she's Baptist, and her Baptist church wasn't even like, it wasn't that big or nothing like that. There's probably like 20 members legit. And we pull up and I get dropped off, and they're having Sunday school. And her Sunday school teacher talking about how he's been to jail and all this other stuff, and he's a changed man and yada yada yada. I think he was just telling the story because I was the only new person in there. Everybody else knew the story, but I ain't gonna speak on that. But so yeah, that ends, and we get up and we go to sit in the third pew. I remember it like it's yesterday. We sit in the third pew, and we sitting there for like maybe like 2 minutes and waiting for the pastoral staff to come out. Pastoral staff come out, and her stepdad is one of them. And so her stepdad guy, he a big dude, not as in buff, but he just fat, and he had dreads. But like, man, if I got dreads and you got dreads, we should get along, bro. Like, I don't know no dreadheads I ain't got along with, but he happened to be the one. So he came and pointed at both of us and told us to sit in the front pew. So it's just awkward from the rest of the day. The whole church service was awkward. I felt him staring at me like while I'm trying to pay attention. Whenever we have prayer, like her little brother would switch like with me, so like they wouldn't like trip about me holding her hand during prayer and like all this other stuff, bro. It's just crazy. So church ends, and I knew her grandma because her grandma worked with us too, and her grandma asked for me to sit by her because she's still sitting down from church, and I was like, okay. And so I sit down by her, and she's like, she asking me all this type of stuff. Did I enjoy church? Yada, yada, yada. And out of the blue, she's like, if you touch my grandma, if you touch my grandchild, I cut your head off. And I'm like, what? Like, okay. And she said, I'm for real. I'm serious. And I was like, okay. And so that was awkward from the jump. And so then we continue talking about other stuff. And then she's like, are y'all going out to eat? And I was like, I don't know, because I rode with my mom up here, but I think I'm riding with them on wherever we going. And I think my mom just going to pick me up. And so we go ahead and do that. And so she's like, oh, are you going to pay? If y'all go out to eat, are you going to pay for Cece to eat? And before I could speak, her stepdad across the church, no, because if you pay for them to eat, then they would be dating. It was the most awkward thing. So Cece frustrated. I'm like lost because I don't know what's going on. And then he continues walking towards us. He's like, and y'all ain't slick. I see y'all wearing the same pair of shoes. I wasn't born yesterday.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And at this point, I don't know what's going on, bro. Like, since when did wearing the same pair of shoes mean something? But I ain't even gonna speak on that either. So she frustrated and mad and pissed off and all this other stuff. And I wasn't really tripping. Like, he didn't scare me none. I mean, he fat, so like, bye. And so we go ahead, we get in his truck or whatever, and he was driving. Well, he got in the driver's seat. His wife got in the passenger. And keep in mind, this is the stepdad. Her mom got in the passenger. I'm on the behind the driver. Her brother's in the middle, and she's on the passengers behind the passenger. So it was just awkward from right then on. So we just we chilling or whatever, and so he starts up the truck and he moves his seat all the way back. And I'm not super tall, but I'm not super small either. So like my knees crunched up, and her mom noticed, real one, and her mom noticed, and so she's like, you know what, let me drive. So they switch seats, and we driving or whatever. Well, they driving, and he's asking me questions. So he started off, he said, how old are you? And at the time I said I was like 16. And he's like, okay. And he said, well, do you do any sports? And I was like, I run track. And he's like, what events you doing track? And I was like, 100, 200, 400, listing events. And then next question, I kid y'all not, next question, do you have a kid? And I was like, no, I'm still a virgin. He's like, oh, really? As if I'm gonna lie. Like, I mean, I can understand why you would lie, but I wasn't gonna lie. Like, what I need to lie for? And so I was like, yes, sir, or whatever. And he's like, oh, okay. Do you fantasize about women? I kid y'all not, this is the exact sequence of the questions. He said, do you fantasize about women? And I said, yeah. See, my thing is, I'm a man, you a man. Well, I'm a young man and you a man. So why are you asking me questions like this? Like, you already know the answer. Like, what are you trying to get out of? Like, what are you gaining out of this? And so, like, do you fantasize about women? I was like, yes, sir, or whatever. And so, like, it took me a little minute to answer. And then he's like, oh, okay. He said, do you fantasize about Cece? And I'm like, bruh, what kind of questions? And everybody in the car, so it's just awkward, bruh. And I'm like, come on, son. So I was like, in what way? Because, I ain't trying to, like, be disrespectful and, like, sexually, but, like, so he's like, it's your question, you answer it. I was like, bro, what kind of, I said, I guess. And so he was like, oh, okay. And he said, the thought is just as bad as the action. Bro, wait, hold up. The thought is just as bad as the action. So you telling me if I think about killing somebody, then that's as bad as killing them? Maybe in God's eyes, maybe. But us, no, the thought is not as bad as the action. Stop that foolishness. So we go ahead and we still chilling or whatever. And yeah, so he just being awkward, and I didn't know how to take that or whatever. So yeah, that's how that car ride went. And so we go ahead and we pull up at this Chinese restaurant not too far from her church. They want us to walk like all the way in front of them so they can see everything we doing. So we can't do no holding hands. We can't do no nothing, bro. No nothing. Like, we can't hold hands. We can't hug. Nothing, bro. And like, I know it's your parents and all, but like, it was just awkward, bro. And so this is how we didn't even, like, me and her parents didn't even come off on a good term. So then we go from the flea market and we go to her house. And my mom moved that day. We was moving that day. And but we couldn't move. She didn't ask me to help her move because we had set up like this church thing way before my mom even thought about moving. And so my mom let me go, which I respect my mom for that. That was a real move. And so we go ahead and we go, and so I'm at her house, and keep in mind my mom's moving, and so her brother wants to play PS4. I was like, all right, cool. I can't find an HDMI on your TV, and his TV is pretty big. And so I was like, we need to go ask your stepdad. And he's like, okay, cool. So we get up and we go to ask, and my mom calls me, and she was saying how she it was something that came up, but basically the probation, like what she had to say was either she picked me up then, or we had to wait like 3 hours before she picked me up. So I went and asked her stepdad, what would he rather me do, like her pick me up right now, or she pick me up later. And this man said, I gave him the whole little scenario, and he said, why aren't you helping your mom? Yada yada yada. And I said because she wanted me to come to church with y'all. He was like, I don't think that's manly, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and you should have handled your business, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, what? Like, I'm coming to your church to spend time with your family so you can get to know the person that's talking to your stepdaughter, bro. And so, man, after that, bro, and I tell y'all, I just tapped out. Like, I tapped out of her parents. Like, I think me and her talked for a good, like, from like August to about like late December, maybe somewhere around there. I got like a heck of stuff for Christmas, but man, never again will I. If I man, it was too many red flags. I'm trying to tell y'all, but man, that was the craziest like parent situation. But I hope y'all enjoyed the story. Y'all know I might bring another one back. Y'all just let me know if y'all want it. I hope y'all have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all do what y'all do. Keep being great, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.